Dear all, I used to study in the government evening school for secondary. The school didn't offer Form 6 education, so I had to go around looking for a high school to do matriculations. And God led my way into Yinghua College, a school which I had not heard of. I walked in as a stranger and I was accepted to do Form 6, lower 6 and upper 6. Because of my education background, Terence put me in one of the 2 conversation classes for competition in the music festival. So I received training in all English in a group during the term. So I began to learn to speak English, all English. Without his help on my old English, I would not have been able to get into the law school to read law and become a lawyer for life. We left together in 1972. We left Yinghua. He remained my English teacher for the rest of my life and my mentor for the rest of my life. From time to time, I met him and sought to help from him on various problems, questions on English, on history, on Bible, and on political affairs. Terence studied history in university, but he has also a considerable insight in the subject of political science. It was a pleasure to listen to him on his views on politics here and there in UK, Hong Kong, everywhere. As a lot has been said in the eulogy and by the other 2 speakers on the achievements and work of Terence, to show that his life was fruitful in labor, useful to the community, and honorable to himself. In the retirement, he spent some time visiting Hong Kong a few times a year. And 10 years ago, he left for England, USA, America, New Zealand, visiting friends, students there. So he had a good time going around the world. And 5 years ago, he went back to UK, traveling on the 15th day rail pass of the country. He went as far as Inverness and as west as Nansen. On the way up, he sat on one side of the window. On the way back, he sat on the other side of the window. He had a good view of scenery on both sides of the tracks. In recent years, he expressed a wish to visit Taiwan. I said, okay, we go on your next trip. So we went to Taiwan about 10 months ago. He enjoyed the trip very much. And on the way back, he said he would like to visit former British Burma. So we went again. We would go next time. So we went to Burma sometime in January this year. And he enjoyed both trips. And at the end of last year, he took a cruise from Singapore to Malaysian Islands and Phuket. So he had traveling around happily for some time. The calm evening of life had for him that which should accompany old age as honor, love, and tropes of ends. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, last night I was at the airport to fetch Professor Chan Yu Nam, who is now present in this memorial service. He came back from Sydney to pay respect to our beloved headmaster. Yesterday I was concerned that some of our old boys might not be aware of the passing of Mr. Iles. I called a number of them. One that I called was Yip Ji Hong, who now lives in Beijing. He said he knew about it and would fly back to Hong Kong in time for today's memorial service. He is now in this hall. Tam Fuk Kay, in a Chinese poem paying tribute to our late headmaster, says, 西來豪傑長英華，長是天恩未自家. Meaning that Mr. Iles had not married as he set his priority in serving Ningwa with the grace of God. This is very true. In some hearty moments over the years, Mr. Iles did share with us that he missed the opportunity of marrying a lady that he was fond of because of heavy workload at Yingma. The Yingma family wanted him to know that he was the senior member of the Yingma family, even though he was not married and had no children of his own. Some 15 years ago, the Terence Iles Retirement Fund was established to ensure that his living and medical expenses were catered for. Funds came in spontaneously every year, and no effort was required to appeal for the contributions. Like Anthony Leung, Yong Ing Sum, and Lui Ping Kang, I was one of the students who was allowed to stay in the prefect's room overnight so that we could be away from our congested home and study in a quiet environment for our university entrance examination. I was one of the many Yingma students who had the opportunity to attend university despite the lack of financial means, because Mr. Iles wrote very strong recommendation letters on us. He wanted to give us an opportunity to progress with our lives. We learned from him to respect people, whether they are rich or poor. He knew the names of most students in the school and conducted home visits to many needy students. A great man shows his greatness by the way he treats the little man. One of my best friends and my classmate at Yinghua, he tried one day to sneak out of the school to see a movie in one early afternoon. He was walking fast along the lane separating our school and Tonghua Secondary School until he heard Mr. Iles shouting out his name. My classmate was most touched and surprised by his headmaster's ability to know his name out of about 1,000 students. He thought he was inconspicuous in the class. He learned that knowing other people's name is a matter of respect. And since he was respected by his headmaster, how could he disappoint his headmaster again in the future? This classmate of mine turns out to be one of the nicest and most decent person that I've known. He's here today. Mr. Iles encouraged us to stand up and be counted, even though most of us came from grassroots families. He encouraged us to participate in extracurricular activities. He emphasized on drive and initiative. He taught us the importance of organization and attention to detail to get things successful. In October 1963, Sir Robert Bragg, the then governor of Hong Kong, were to visit our school to officiate the opening of our new campus at Kowloon Tong. In preparation for this important ceremony of the school, he arranged rehearsals with teachers and prefects in local hall. He carefully explained to the prefects as to the exact timing of the applause. He said, "Clap your hands immediately after I finish the following words. We are pleased to announce the promotion of Vice Principal Chan Yu Nam, a Chinese scholar of his own right." The hall was full of clapping hand noises afterwards. I read a quote of wisdom yesterday. It reads, "For every one of us that succeeds, it's because there is somebody there to show you the way out." The light doesn't always necessarily have to be in your family. For me, it was teachers and school. A quote by Oprah Winfrey. This quote of wisdom seems to say all we wanted to say to Mr. Iles today. You have shown us the ways. We are here to celebrate the life of our beloved headmaster, Mr. Terence Iles. In this connection, I came across another quote of wisdom. It reads, "He has achieved success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent men and the love of little children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who has left the world better than he found it, who has never lacked appreciation of earth's beauty or failed to express it, who has always looked for the better in others, for the best in others, and given them the best he had, whose life was an inspiration, whose memory a benediction." A quote by Bessie Stanley. Mr. Iles, you have changed the lives of many of us in Yinghua for the much better. You should be pleased that your teachings will be carried on. May you rest in peace.
It's so sweet to hear so many loving stories and memorable moments about Terence. Terence's life has manifested God's glory, and he had led a life in full and in love. While Terence was very blessed by God, he has blessed and touched many lives. And I'm sure many of the friends who have been blessed by Terence would like to give back and share their blessings with Terence. Today, the Yinghua College Chamber Choir has prepared him to share God's blessing with him. An Irish blessing. beautiful hymn. Let's share with our dear friend, our dear headmaster, our dear brother, Terence. In memory of Terence Iles. Let us now move on to the second part of the words of remembrance. I would like to invite Mr. Anthony Drum, another Yinghua Old Boy, former student of Terence, and Mr. Jefferson Chan, the current student of Yinghua College.
Good evening. I'm Anthony Lowe, a Yinghua boy for 7 years, from 1963 to 1970. I was fortunate to have Mr. Iles as the headmaster during the most part of my stay in Yinghua. My first impression of Mr. Iles was fear. As you know, Mr. Iles was tall and big. He also had a loud voice. As a Form 1 boy and the shortest in the class, I've always been the shortest and youngest in the class throughout the 7 years. Mr. Iles was the Goliath in my mind. Being the principal who had tremendous power added to my fear of him. One of his powers was to appoint prefects. I was never appointed a prefect. I suppose I wasn't good enough. The prefects have been harsh on me. I was once punished by one of the prefects to copy a very long essay called 虚國略舌劍貧 10 times. That was really painful. I considered the prefects the secret police of Mr. Iles, and hence deepened the fear of him. My fear of him was reduced a few years later. During a recess, I was kicking a football between the two walls of a corridor. I would kick it hard towards the wall in front of me, let the ball bounce to the back wall, and I would then kick again to the front wall. Every kick would result in 2 bounces and 2 banging sounds. Needless to say, the walls were full of ball marks. It went well until one kick that bounced off the front wall, but there wasn't a second banging sound at my back. I turned around only to find out that the ball was under Mr. Iles' feet. I freaked out and was preparing for heavy penalty. But Mr. Iles returned the ball to me and only said, "Too noisy, don't kick anymore." My impression of Mr. Iles changed completely after Form 5. I wasn't very good academically during my high school days. As you know, students in those days were assigned to classes according to their academic achievements in descending order. In Form 1, I was in Form 1B, then I was in Form 2D, then Form 3E. The better students studied science, like KC. I barely made it to Form 4 and hence in arts. At the Hong Kong Certificate of Education examination, the public examination after Form 5, I got only 2 credits and the rest were just passes. The grades were not good enough for me to be admitted to Form 6 in the first round. On hearing the outcome, I cried desperately. I cried because I didn't know what the future would be. My family was poor and could not afford to send me to a private school. And I could not really join the workforce, as I was only 16 and short. I was barely 5 feet tall then. Mr. Chen Youlang, the then deputy headmaster, learned of my situation and recommended to Mr. Iles that I would be accepted to enter Form 6 in Yinghua. Mr. Iles didn't only agree, he gave me the permission to study in the classroom after school and sleep in the kitchen of the school canteen. For the first time in my life, I would have a quiet place to study. My home was small, about 400 square feet, but had to house 11 people, my parents and their 9 children. 2 years later, I managed to enter the University of Hong Kong with top grades from the Hong Kong A-level examination. I was the first in the family to enter university. Mr. Iles gave me a chance, and he changed my life. Mr. Iles had also changed my life through his emphasis on whole person development. There were plenty of extracurricular activities in Yinghua. I was a member of the school team in table tennis, an editor of the school newspaper Torch, and the school magazine, and vice chairman of the art club. He promoted long-distance running, and he personally participated in the events. I still remember vividly that the whole school ran from Oxford Road, along Waterloo Road, up the steep slope beside Baptist Hospital, all the way to Waterham, then back to the school. Many schoolmates vomited on the way or at the finish line, but there was hard-rebuilt perseverance. I will admit that my experience in Yinghua has significant influence on my work in the Education Commission and the University Grants Committee, including the objectives of the education reform and the criteria of university admission. We have also benefited from the many good teachers that Mr. Iles had recruited and promoted, including Mr. Chen Liulang, Ms. Catherine Ho, Ms. Angela Go, and Mr. Chen Guiseng. Yinghua Boys became a more significant force in the universities in Hong Kong in the ensuing years. I get to know Mr. Iles better in recent years in various Yinghua Boys gatherings. In spite of his personal situation, Mr. Iles was always cheerful and caring. He was always praising the Lord and regularly led us in singing hymns. I still have the musical score and lyric because he lived, that he gave to me. On it, he wrote, "To Anthony and family," signed Terence, August 31st, 2009. Mr. Iles didn't have a family, but he had a big family, the Yinghua family. He didn't have children. He had many Yinghua boys that cared for him, and he cared for them. He didn't have inventions that changed the world, but he has changed the lives of many Yinghua boys for the better, and hopefully the world will therefore be a better world. He didn't generate wealth, but he had generated love, and lots of it. He didn't accumulate money, but he had accumulated a lot of wealth in heaven, wealth that will not decay or rust, and wealth that can be enjoyed in eternal life. Not only did he taught the teachings in the Bible, he lived the teachings. These are the last lessons that Mr. Iles had taught me through personal example. Once again, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Iles. We'll miss you. I'm glad that you're with our Father in heaven, where there is no sorrow, no tears, no jealousy, and no pain, because He lives.
各位來賓、校長、各位老師、各位師兄、各位同學，大家好，我係應屆中六嘅畢業生陳卓橋。今日好榮幸得到鄭校長嘅邀請，嚟到英華書院前校長 Mr. Iles 嘅追思會，並且作出一點分享。坦白講，同在座一班嘅大師兄相比，我對 Mr. Iles 嘅認識可謂十分皮毛，更加唔好講話要分享對呢一位校長嘅感受。 不過，即使我無緣成為 Mr. Isles 嘅學生，同佢嘅見面亦都唔多。但係喺每一次嘅早會上面見到佢，對於佢嘅魅力、佢嘅言行、佢嘅風采，都令我有好深嘅體會。因此，我實在好想藉住呢個機會，向呢一位60年代嘅校長講聲多謝。Mr. Isles 每一次翻嚟都提醒住我，對身邊嘅一人一事都要用心。喺呢6年裏邊，我有幸見過佢幾次，不過我好記得每一次有佢出席嘅早會，總會有一班年長嘅師長翻嚟參與，而每一次佢都會用好多嘅時間，逐一去用心介紹台下每一位佢任教過嘅學生。Mr. Isles 即使年紀老邁，但佢中氣十足嘅聲線，加上驚人嘅記憶力，又彷彿將我哋都帶到去嗰一段佢係英華嘅日子。而最深刻嘅一次，就莫過於佢攞住剪報，好開心咁樣讀出廖長成師兄獲邀成為行政會議成員嘅一刻。就算過咗40幾年，佢仍然會為一個學生嘅成就而感到雀躍。可見 Mr. Isles 對同學係幾咁嘅用心。就算佢唔記得咗特首先生嘅簡稱係 CY 定係 YC， 佢仍然能夠一字不漏咁樣讀出一班校友嘅名，更加唔會忘記同佢哋一齊相處嘅片段。聽住佢滔滔不絕咁樣去憶述往事，我更加相信一切對佢而言，就好似一道道流星一樣，短暫但係令人難忘。而每次喺嗰個時候，台前嘅一班老成持重嘅大師兄，就猶如回到60年代中學生嘅日子咁樣，正襟危坐，用心去聆聽 Mr. Isles 嘅每一句訓勉，用心去感謝佢嘅教導。呢一個畫面，相信係英華多年以嚟師生情嘅最佳體現。師生間嘅情誼竟然能夠跨越時間、地域嘅限制，除咗係一班師兄不忘本嘅感恩心之外， Mr. Isles 對於佢哋嘅紀念，相信亦都打動咗唔少師兄嘅心，從而使佢哋決意追隨 Mr. Isles， 直至將來仍然一生銘記師恩。對於 Mr. Isles 離去而感到可惜嘅，唔單止係一班喺佢任內就讀嘅師兄，往後甚至70、80、90年代，甚至只係近幾年畢業生以及在學嘅同學，亦都有同樣嘅感覺。旁人或許會感到奇怪，因為60年代嘅校長竟然對一間學校會有如此深遠嘅影響。其實亦都唔難明白，冇咗佢當日為母校奠下基礎，或者今日嘅英華就唔會成為人人稱頌嘅百年老校。對於英華好多嘅校友，或者對於英華好多嘅人而言， Mr. Isles 就象徵住青春。縱然我唔係屬於嗰一個年代嘅人，但係只要翻一番視察，就會感受到佢嗰一份青春嘅氣息。喺嗰一個久遠嘅時空裏邊，學習往往就係對住書本，單向咁樣聽住老師授課嘅黑板教學。唔好講話係課外活動，課堂裏邊多一點嘅互動都會遭人詬病。而喺嗰個時候，未到30歲嘅 Mr. Isles 就鼓勵師生走出課室，大力咁樣推動多方面發展，容許學生天馬行空，令到佢哋嘅能力都得以淋漓盡致嘅發揮出嚟。直至今時今日，全人教育喺社會上面大行其道，而英華早喺40年前嘅堅持，更加令我驚嘆當年 Mr. Isles 係幾咁高瞻遠矚。相信唔少校友今日能夠喺唔同方面有好好嘅發展，亦都有賴 Mr. Isles 俾英華仔擁有好大嘅發揮空間。如果冇咗佢當年支持爵士樂隊嘅成立，或者今日就唔會有廣東歌之父許冠傑先生。如果唔係佢大力鼓勵學生去參與運動，英華或者唔會喺1970年奪得首個嘅紫荊杯冠軍。冇咗佢，或者薪火相傳永遠只係一個願景，英華派、五社、火炬等一個又一個象徵住承傳嘅傳統都唔會出現。直至今日，英華仔裏邊冇人識英谷，所有嘅英華仔都識英華派。而咁多位老師、咁多位師兄弟多年嚟仍然保持聯絡，一切都因着一本又一本嘅火炬，一個又一個社員身份嘅開始。Mr. Isles 對後世嘅影響毋庸置疑。英華嘅呢一棵古樹，因住佢而變得果實累累，歷久彌新。關於英華當年嘅發展，當然仲有好多未提及嘅部分，相信各位師兄亦都比我更加了解，學生亦都唔喺度詳述。今日見到在座咁多位大師兄，因住 Mr. Isles 以及英華嘅栽培而感戴終生，並且特地嘅翻嚟追悼，作為各位嘅師弟，我亦都非常感動。 容許學生引用出自詩人龔自珍嘅一句説話：落紅不是無情物，化作春泥更護花。Mr. Ayres 雖然已經離開咗我哋，但我相信佢嘅一言一行仍然長留喺在座各位嘅心中。今日我哋帶住無限嘅眷戀去告別佢，我亦都希望各位師兄能夠盡快走出傷痛，今後攜手守護母校，以回報 Mr. Ayres 以及英華嘅哺育之恩。最後 ，Mr. Ayres， 多謝你為母校帶嚟嘅一切，使我能夠喺呢一棵百年古樹嘅庇蔭之下茁壯成長。